Hoarders. Today we're going to be playing some more Grand Theft Auto 5. In this Testing Tuesday, we're going to be testing the Schyster Deviant. I did have it set up to look more like a Plymouth Cuda, but I since changed that. You guys might have seen my last video where I use this car. Why is everyone running? I genuinely don't understand. There's no bombs going off or anything. Okay, I hear gunshots. I did have it set up to look like a Plymouth Cuda, but since then, I did the Plymouth Cuda thing because the taillights and like the rear bumper and the front end looked a lot like the Plymouth Cuda, knowing that the sides didn't. I remember seeing the car before, but I forgot the name of it in the previous video, but it was the AMC Javelin, which they have an AMX version of it that I based this off of, which I will pop up on the screen right now. I couldn't get the color exactly like I wanted it, but it is damn sure close. I think it was, what was it? It was like some kind of brown near the bottom of the list. I think it was like Beechwood brown or something like that. And I did the, like the flake in the color. I hit a car. For the flake in the paint, I did do yellow, because that really got us a lot closer to the color I was looking for. I do wish that the decals weren't as mixed in with the other paint colors as it is. I got the rims very, very close. The exhaust on the real-life version are round instead of square, but it's still in the same setup as these are. The spoiler looks very similar, but it has a different number of like little pillars. Like the back of this one has 4, I believe the other one had 3. There's not really that many things different about this in the real one. Like the whole rear end looks very, very similar, except for the taillights on the real-life version look a lot more like the Shelby GT500 taillights, and the front end looks more like a Challenger mix. This one looks more like just a 69 Challenger in the grill, and then kind of a mix of the Firebirds, like the later Firebirds. Performance-wise, it definitely does a wheelie. I kind of fucked it up there because there were a lot of potholes. Come on, Bessie. What are you doing to me? You'll go pretty good if you don't hit potholes and spin out like an idiot. Handling can be a little bit squirrely if you push it a little too hard. You can lose the back end pretty easily because it seems like there's quite a bit of weight in the rear. You can put even lowered suspension on, like really, really low. You can put the race competition suspension, which is really only available on the drag cars, like the vehicles that are based more towards drag racing. Can't really think of much more. Acceleration's pretty good. Braking's not extremely good. It does work. Other than that, I can't really think of anything else. So, let's head on over to the test track and see what we can get. In all honesty, I think as far as all car times, I don't think it's going to get a very good time. But as far as muscle cars, I think this is going to get a very good time. I think that is the longest that I think that's the longest that any vehicle I've tested has burned out at the beginning. because I pretty much have it set so there's no error that can happen with that. That wasn't an error, that was just how much power it has at the start. Stay out here, pop in here. But I did end up basing this mostly on the AMX Javelin, which originally is AMC. I don't know if AMX was just a different name, like version that they gave to it, like SS for like Super Sport Chevys and stuff like that. I didn't really look into it, but the original company that made them was AMC, which is, as far as I know, they don't make cars anymore. I haven't heard of any cars being made by them in quite a while. I don't think they've made any even in my lifetime. I know that they have a couple cars, like the AMC Pacer, the Javelin, obviously, the Gremlin. And I can't really... those are the only three that I know of that they make. I think they make one more, and I think it was on Driver San Francisco, but for some reason I can't remember what it was, but I'm pretty sure there was other cars on there. But I really do like the version of the Javelin that I picked to base this off of, because there weren't really any that looked that appealing to me. I did see a couple that looked kind of like the like 1969 Camaro, but I didn't really like that look, because it makes the car look like a Camaro that was like elongated and added weird things to it. But I definitely think that they did pretty good on this, making it look a lot like the real thing. What did we get? 227.348, and on my mess up lap, I did 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and it was a bad mess up. But let's head on over to the leaderboard and see where we placed. On the test track, the Schyster Deviant finished in 83rd place at 2 minutes 27.348 seconds. It in fact was not the fastest muscle car. There were several, including the Dominator that's on here, that were quite a bit faster. There were a couple vehicles, I believe, as of right now, the fastest muscle car on the test track was the Vapid Hustler, which was somewhat surprising to me, because that's the first time I went through and looked to figure out what the fastest muscle car was, because before it was the Redwood Gauntlet, which was the one that I always used in the races. So I might have to remake a Hustler version so I can use that in races now. So as far as my list goes, the fastest muscle car as of right now, out of the vehicles I tested, not as of every vehicle in the game, the fastest muscle car that I have tested so far is the Vapid Hustler. So that's something to keep in mind, at least until I find a vehicle that is faster. I'm not sure if I will or not. But now let's head on over to the drag track and see what we get over there. I'm thinking, because of the amount of wheel spin this gets off the start, I'm not sure how good this time's gonna be. I think it's obviously going to hurt the time, but I don't know about how much. But I can't all of a sudden change the way that is set up now. But it's definitely a quick time. It's gonna be quick. What does it say on the... I can't even see the speedometer. I think this is the first time I used the first person, which actually is not bad. It's a bit bumpy, though. And yeet it across the line. What did we get? 27.329. I know that for a muscle car, that is definitely a quick time. But now, But now let's head on over to the leaderboard and see where we placed. On the drag track, the Schyster Deviant finished in 75th place at 27.329 seconds. Yet again, was not the fastest muscle car. It actually was farther back in line of fast muscle cars on the drag track. I would suspect because, as far as I know, it has the longest burnout time just from flooring it. There were I wasn't spinning the tires prior because you can't even do that in races, and it just somehow has so much power it just spins out at the very start. So I think that's what really did not help it at all, because that loses you a lot of time because you're just spinning, sitting still instead of actually going. But post in the comments down below of a vehicle you'd like to see me test in the next Testing Tuesday. Make sure it's actually the in-game name of the vehicle. But that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click one of my previous, next, and related videos. And don't forget to check out my other social medias in the description down below.